Hi, I'm Katie Couric. Welcome to Eye to Eye. Billionaire Richard Branson is teaming up with former Vice President Al Gore to fight global warming, and he's putting his money where his mouth is. Branson is offering a $25 million prize for the most innovative idea to save the planet. Early show anchor Harry Smith spoke with them exclusively about the contest.
Why this prize, and why now?
Well, there is an awful lot of carbon in the Earth's atmosphere already, and there are some people that say we've already got too much, we've already gone beyond the tipping point. But whether or not that's the case or not, what we want to try to do is get every young mind, every scientist, everybody to try to see if we can extract that carbon out of it and come up with a way of extracting it out. Because if we can't do that, the danger of global warming actually ending up with the extinction of mankind is that much greater.
You could speak about this for hours, but in a very simple way, how much is out there and what is it doing?
Well, before the Industrial Revolution, there were 280 parts per million. Now there are 380. That's a huge increase. And what it does is trap a lot more of the sun's heat in the Earth's atmosphere, and it's giving the planet a fever. That's a sign of poor health that has a detrimental effect on us. So we need to reduce the amount that we're continuing to add, but if there is some possibility, in addition to doing all the other things we need to do, to try to get some of that that's already been put up there out, it's interesting to challenge the scientists and engineers to come up with some innovative approaches.
Who will own the technology? You'll judge this prize, this way of somehow getting what's out there out of the atmosphere so it no longer is harmful. But who will own the technology?
The individual who gets the $25 million prize will own that technology. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people be happy to help fund him, and I'm sure Virgin Fuels would be happy to help fund him. But basically, the important thing is that somebody comes up with the answer.
Right. Is this a gimmick?
No, I don't think it is. What we're facing is a planetary emergency, and so some things that you would never consider otherwise make sense to consider. And it shouldn't be seen in any way as a distraction from the hard work that we have to do and improving efficiency of cars, everything that burns carbon-based fuel. But in addition to that, this is now an idea that should be explored.
But you know what? When you hear about somebody going up and figuring out some sort of contraption to get the bad stuff out of the air, it sounds like, well, we've given up on the other end. We've reached a tipping point. We might as well be farming the stuff out of the air because nobody's going to stop driving their SUVs.
It's going to be a problem to get the political will of some countries, and in particular America, to actually get out there and encourage people to go for smaller cars, to encourage people to use less carbon. And if we don't get the political will, yes, we're definitely going to need this prize because we will go beyond the tipping point. But hopefully we'll get the political will, as well as hopefully somebody will win this prize.
There was an important conference in Paris just last week. Because of global warming, it would feel like it's basically caused by human beings, and 90% sure it's because of emissions. Do you think people in the United States understand that?
I think there's been the beginning of a big shift in public opinion, and I think you've seen a lot of business leaders now calling for changes in our national laws. You've seen a lot of religious leaders, and almost 400 mayors now have embraced the international agreement on this, and many states. I think we've seen a big shift. We're not there yet, but we're close to a political tipping point, beyond which I think you really are going to see a sea change in the way people demand that politicians in both parties make this their top priority.
You've only known each other about a year or so, as I understand it. Is Al Gore a prophet?
How do you spell profit? I think that Al Gore has almost single-handedly brought global warming to the forefront of the world. Outside America, he's perceived as a prophet, spelt in the right way, and inside America, I think a lot of A lot of people who've read well and have, know that know that he's right and know that something's got to be done.
Is this the right way to get your message across, though? Because the question was asked in the press conference today. Would you not be better off trying to affect this change from the White House as opposed to doing it in a sort of Johnny Appleseed way, the way you're doing it now?
Well, I worked in the White House for 8 years and tried very hard to solve this crisis, and found that in dealing with the Senate and dealing with the Congress, that the one element that was most needed was a sea change in public opinion to empower the politicians in both parties to do the right thing here. And so I'm involved in a different kind of campaign to try to change enough minds to make it a new reality so that whoever runs will hear it from the voters,
right,
and hear it as a demand that they act.
So I take it you won't announce your candidacy at the Oscars or on our program now.
Well, no, I'm not announcing anything today other than the fact that I admire Sir Richard Branson's decision to put this prize up, and it's so refreshing to have an international business leader who I go and say, look, take a look at this and see what you can do. And he says, okay. And then he comes up with these imaginative approaches to really help the world approach this problem. I really like that.